This is actually really interesting.
Randy, I got a tough one for you here.
Oh, you got a spicy one for me?
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
Why is
Who is this? CEO of the company that's making Borderlands 4.
Me that has to do the spicy ones.
Randy Pitcher.
All right.
What will the game's price be? That's an interesting one. I don't know this.
Really now? I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. And that is the truth. I'll hit it. I'll hit it straight on. And it's an interesting time, right?
Now understand, this was back in May 21st, and this is from him, to be clear.
We've got the on one level, we've got a competitive marketplace where people want to, or the people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. So there's some folks that don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There's other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing and there's tariffs for the retail packaging, and like it's...
That is absurd to me. Retail packaging is incredibly low in terms of the fact that we have global digital distribution. I think that is a false lead on cost associated with selling games today. I don't think that's honest.
It's getting gnarly out there, you guys. Borderlands 4 has more than...
I think that is a loaded thing where he's trying to dip into politics to try and garner positive reaction for that statement. I don't think that's honest at all.
Twice the development budget than Borderlands 3. More than twice. The truth is, I don't know what the price is going to be. I do know that we will be opening pre-orders soon, TM, and that will be when the price is set. I think that Borderlands 4, here's the philosophy we have. Whatever the price is, we're entertainers. Yes, we want to get more resources so we can make bigger and better games. There's a reason why Borderlands 4 is so awesome. It's because you guys showed up and supported Borderlands 3. And we had the budget, so we could more than double the budget and feel confident in that. And that's awesome. When the revenue comes in, we can...
Would it affect physical copies, though? Undetermined. Depends on where they're creating those physical copies. Depends on how those are being shipped. Depends on if they're in a classification of good that is actually being tariffed. And it also depends how many of their copies that are selling are actually physical copies compared to digital. In a world where we have global digital distribution, it is highly unlikely that physical copy tariffs in any way are impacting the bottom line of a game. And if they are, you have probably structured your business incorrectly in today's world. So I find it to be incredibly dishonest for him to use that as a reason for rising price of games.
We could spend it to make bigger games and better games. As artists, we want everybody to have it. You know, we want to make it as easy as possible for everybody to enjoy what we're creating. So
that's appealing to emotion. You're a business. You're selling a video game. Just be honest with people about it. You want them to buy it because you want to make more money. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a weird thing, but the fundamental philosophy is we want people to buy it so we have the resources to make more, but we want everyone who buys and plays a Gearbox game to feel certain that they got the better end of the bargain. Whatever the price is, that they got the best value.
That could be honest.
Philosophy that we
Nothing's
live
wrong
by.
with that.
And so we're going to have a price set soon, and it might be the new price that like Nintendo and Microsoft have led with. It might be that we stay back. It's going to be the people at the publishing house that decide that. And if it is cheaper, then maybe we'll sell you that mini map that you guys want, but we'll develop later. How bad do you want that? $10? I don't know.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. Or am I? I'm just kidding. Or am I? I'm just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. We'll know soon. Yeah. I think it's going to be fine, whatever it ends up being. I think it's going to be amazing, whatever it is. Borderlands is fucking amazing, and it's worth it.
Yeah, I find that whole thing to be a whole lot of nothing. The problem is this. Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feel this notion of constant increase in the price tag. You were the CEO. You have some sway or some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. They said, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working for minimum wage at Ice Cream Parlor. I found a way to make it happen. This is the worst statement he could have made. That is the worst possible statement he could have made. And the internet knew it immediately because he has 3,100 responses and 437 likes. Back in my day, is not a correct answer in the current economic situation. And saying if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen is incredibly out of touch. So I put this out and I said, as the AAA industry continues to push higher prices, the indie renaissance will continue. An $80 game is a terrible price point. I said piracy is a service issue. If it's too expensive, it'll be pirated. If it can't be obtained, it'll be pirated. And then, of course, this is the way it makes me feel. Borderlands 4 CEO has said that a real fan will find a way to get the game, and it's $80. When you are splitting your community between being a player that can't afford the game and a real fan, you're a dumbass. That's the worst possible thing to do to your community. That is a bad CEO. Do not do that to your community. You need to take a step back and go, wait, what am I doing? Because that's really stupid. You already didn't care for Borderlands? I love Borderlands. I have thousands of hours in these games. Love the hell out of these games. That's just a really stupid-ass thing to say. I found this one to be an inflammatory statement, like the most inflammatory thing you could say, and I just don't understand. You have digital distribution, which means you're not producing items that have to have costs associated with them for distribution. You don't need to ship them. You don't need to create box art. You don't have materials costs. You don't have to put them on shelves. You are doing digital distribution on a global level. You have access to the global community of gamers more so than any other time in history. It is incredibly easy to release a game globally now. To make the game $80 base price, even with regional pricing changes, you are pricing out a very large portion of the market based on current trends in economics and current amounts of disposable income that people earmark for entertainment. That is a shit price point that will sell you less copies overall and likely make the game less profitable than if you made it, say, $50. There would be a number of people that would buy the game over that, and you would probably end up making more money on a $50 price point than you would on an $80 price point, simply because economics of scale. These types of changes inside of the industry are going to be rejected by people, as they already are, and we're likely going to see more and more people turn towards indie for their entertainment because they get more bang for their buck. It's kind of how that goes. It's not about unemployed people versus employed people. It's about people going, well, I don't really have a lot of money right now, so I'm going to give that $80 game a miss until it's on sale. You know, these execs are going to bitch when sales go down, like the game goes on sale. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, you don't need to do a big, massive movement on the internet. You don't need to get out your pitchforks and go scream about Randy, right? You don't need to do that. All you have to do as an individual is go, is this too much for me? If the answer is yes, then don't buy it. And if somebody else buys it, don't be a dick to them. They're in a different economic situation than you, or they wanted it more than you did. And that's fine. Vote with your wallet, not with others. Don't force others to vote the same way as you just because you're trying to get some moral high ground about a game being too expensive. You vote with your wallet. Do so. I am going to vote with mine and not buy that game. If a game is $80 base price, I'm out. That's simple. And yes, I can absolutely afford the $80 game, but I don't like seeing that in our industry, so I am personally not going to buy it.